So there's a lot of fluctuations, a lot of things that can change. And you're going to see that that won't make any difference at all. So you'll see, okay, this is what we're expecting to see pan out. This is the delivery and price we're expecting to see. And then it doesn't do that. I want you to log that experience and feel what it felt like without any money attached to it. Then you can go back objectively after the stream in your own private time, sometime during that week, but you definitely want to have it before Sunday, the new week begins, because you want to be able to reflect on what it felt like seeing it. How did that whole bit of business and price action fit inside the entire weekly range? And that's going to start communicating to you where your focus is going to be. As a trader, using my content, or if you're just wanting to use what you already make money with, I promise what I'm going to show you is going to help you make better money, more consistent setups, and you'll avoid losing more often. I wish the folks that would have a opposition to me would just sit down with us, maybe in private. Okay, maybe don't even talk about anything negative about me. If you feel that way, just in private, prove to yourself that this can or cannot increase your understanding. That's all. Because I promise you, if you submit yourself to this, it's going to open your eyes up to how price really works, how it really books, why it breathes higher and lower like a living organism. It's not static. It's not stilted. Like if you click on TradingView and you look at a market replay, you watch those candles paint on market replay and TradingView, it feels wooden. It doesn't feel animated. It feels stunted. It doesn't feel organic. Whereas when you're watching a 1 minute candle and a 5 minute candle painting live, fluctuating up and down inside the same candle, that's something you can't replace with anything else or find the equivalent of. That's the only way to really do it. And you can see the speed at which it snaps and leaves that area and goes to a pool of liquidity or runs to an inefficiency. It needs to be seen live. Whether you record your screen while you're at work or school or sleeping, it matters not. You need to be able to see it as it does it live. So market replay is good to an extent, but that's it. And I mentioned yesterday on Twitter, one of my followers sent me an email saying, hey, look, TradingView added executions to market replay. And I was like, I wish they wouldn't have done that. I wish they wouldn't have done that, because I was concerned that everybody that's going to watch my old videos are going to be like, oh, that's what he did, because they still do it. Well, they were doing it then. They say, oh, he's using market replay. No. So even though I'm disappointed in the way that they added executions, I'm glad the way they did it distinguishes live executions. And what I mean by that, I put on trades live with live data, executing live feed on the ES and the NASDAQ. Okay, that's undeniable. When you watch me toggle the executions, the arrows, and show you the annotations where it shows you where you bought, where you sold, how many contracts and such, it puts the candle and the highlight of the arrow. If you buy it, there's a little arrow underneath it showing you that's the candle, and then the annotation tells you the actual price in that candle my execution was based on where it was executed on. When you look at the market replay on TradingView, you can do an execution on market replay and the arrow looks a little wonky, which is fine. I don't like it personally, but at least it looks different from that of a live execution. Okay, even if you're using a paper trading account. If you have your broker attached to that trading platform in TradingView, your arrow is going to look different from the one that they use for market replay. At least it looks different for me. It looks a little jagged, you'll see what I mean if you just look at it. But when you're done and you turn off that market replay, you can't call those old executions back up. When you do a right click on a chart and go to executions and show executions, annotations, or whatever it is, or descriptions, or I'm not sure what it is, but it tells you the actual prices, you can't recall them because it's a market replay. So I'm satisfied in that regard, because when I first saw the email and I was like, oh no, there's going to be all kinds of people out there faking it now. So if they ever show you executions and such, make sure that you ask them to toggle their executions on and off in their recordings. Because to me, that'll tell you if they did it with a live execution or not, because that's the only way you can do it right now. Okay. So I just tossed it in there just for community's sake. That way you all can see that what I'm showing you, that's real. Everything else now can be slightly skewed, but also look at the full screen. If they're zoomed in and they're trying to hide the fact that that market replay arrow exists in the top of the chart, okay, that's a red flag there too. So, and again, if someone can do it, they're going to gladly show you. There's no reason why they wouldn't show it to you. I mean, I show you the executions, I show you the arrows, I show you the beginning of the trade, the end of the trade. And that's what you want. If you're going to learn from somebody or just follow someone because they want to share their executions, there's nothing wrong with that, but just make sure what you're learning and who you're learning from and who they're showcasing through specific trade executions, they're valid. They're not something that's, oh, this is a market replay. You knew that candle was going to create that fair value gap. You knew. See, I don't have that. I'm at the hard right edge. And you're going to see that. You're going to walk into that jungle on the right edge of the chart on the live sessions with me, beginning on February 7th. And it's exciting. Like, it's exciting because I want you to see what it feels like to really focus in on what the market's likely to do right now. Where's it going next? You want to learn how to do bias and figure out where the market's going to go? This is how you do it. This is exactly how I've taught my students to learn how to do this, because it needs to be taken from experience. No book that I can write or anyone else can write is going to teach you effectively how to develop the bias, the narrative, knowing how you, not everybody, you, the person listening to this right now, how are you going to trade? How is it that you're going to go into the marketplace and look for a specific setup? When are you going to be trading? Are you going to trade at 8:30? Are you going to trade at 9:30? Are you going to try to find a setup before 8:30 because you have to be at work? Are you going to be trading in the London session because you can't be in front of the charts or have access to the charts during the New York session? See, all those factors are going to weigh heavily. And no, I'm not doing live streams on London. Okay, I've stopped staying up overnight with London, and I sleep if I can sleep during that time. Obviously, you can see sometimes I'll have periods of insomnia, and I may post overnight on Twitter or something to that effect, but I'm not trying to dilute your attention. Everything that I'm going to teach you using the 8:30 to 10:30 2-hour window, that's the length of our live sessions. We may or may not have anything to do collectively until 9:30, but I want you to see what it feels like to be in there watching those candles, referencing levels that I'm trying to draw your attention to. And then you'll see, oh, this is what he means when he talked about that stuff in those old videos that you have to go through, back test, walk forward, tape reading. That's not demo trading. That's not paper trading. There's a space in your study and your development that has to incorporate what I'm going to force you to do. And yes, it's going to be boring. In the beginning, it's going to feel like, what am I doing here? Like anything at all worth doing, there's beginning stages that you have to go through. This can't be discounted. It can't be shunned and expect to get blue ribbon results. If you want to be highly proficient, you want to be highly precise about your entries, your executions, your management, your trade management. You want to know where to place a stop loss? You're going to learn that by doing this with me. You're going to understand why the market is not likely to go to a specific level. So therefore, you can trust placing your stop there because it makes most sense monetarily based on the percentage of risk that you're willing to assume. And technically, it shouldn't go there. And if it does go there, you want to be the fuck out of there, because it's going to turn on you and go much harder than you would want to be in. Any kind of retracement or reversal, you don't want to be subjecting yourself to that risk. Stop placement. That's why 90% of live streamers don't put a stop loss, because they don't know where to put a stop loss, because they're afraid to lose. That communicates to me they have no idea what they're doing. And I want you to learn how to do this. I know some of you are listening to this right now, and you may not like me. That's fine. I'm not here for friends, I said. But I'm going to show you how you can put a stop loss in. And you don't have to worry about putting it an ultra small stop loss. Okay, that's not important. Knowing where the market is right now, where is it not likely to go? That's the first mindset that you should have. Once you've arrived at where the draw on liquidity is, where's it going to reach for, that's the number one deciding factor of a profitable trader. Because if you don't know where it's going, it matters not where your stop loss is. Because if you're upside down in your trade idea and you're going against the grain, you're offside, going against the direction that the market really going to go in. See, that's what you're afraid of right now as a new student. You don't know what you're doing. Just tell me the bias ICT and I'll do the rest. No, you'll lose money. You'll lose money. Because you'll go in, you won't hold the trade properly, you won't use a stop loss, but you'll see a tiny little fluctuation and you'll think it's reversing on you and you'll collapse the trade and then it'll run in the direction that I said it would go. And then you're going to chase it, moves too much, and same thing. Oh no, it's going back down into a natural, small little retracement, institutional order flow, maybe a fair value gap. And that feeling of when price is retracing into something like that, when you hear me talk about, okay, this is what it should do, and you want to let this happen, it's completely normal. It's a boring conversation we're going to be having over the chart. And that's exactly how it should be. It should not be animated with disco lights flashing around, lasertrons, and all kinds of pulsing music and shit like that. Okay, you're trying to learn how to reprice. You don't want to have any. Now, once you know what you're doing, once you know exactly what you're doing, you know your model, then yeah, drum and bass, dubstep, hard rock, rap, whatever the fuck gets you going, which gets your juices, like flowing and you're in the zone, you knew what you're doing as a trader, then yeah, absolutely. It won't be a distraction then. But I'm not going to have music playing in the background, okay? I'm not having anything. I'm going to be talking over the chart. And if you're bored by that, get the fuck out of here, okay? Because you're not going to learn how to make money. You will not learn how to do this properly. But if you want to learn how to make money, you want to go in like I'm showing you, my executions are laser pinpoint accurate. Bam, I'm on that low candle. Bam, I'm getting out in the partials on the high fucking candle. Over and over and over and over and over again. Smacking these other motherfuckers out there pretending they know how to do something silly. You're going to have that same skill set. But you got to walk with me. We even entered into the jungle yet, and some of you already are doubting. You're looking at shit that has nothing to do with your development right now at this stage in your development. You're worried about things that are not important. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I took one-on-one mentorship students back in the 90s. This is exactly what I did with them. But they only got it for 1 week. I'm giving you this year. Because you need to see seasonal tendencies. You want to see the impact of that, quarterly shifts. You want to see who knows what the hell's going to happen. All this stuff that happens across the seas and in other parts of the world, that can have reverberations in the marketplace that you may think, oh, that's in another country, has nothing to do with me. Bullshit. It's going to be in the marketplace. That means it's going to have to be dealt with if you're a trader here or wherever you are. You can't put blinders on thinking, well, that stuff over that country, that's their problem. I ain't got to worry about it. I'm making money. No, that can cause you to not have opportunity or your trade to become irrelevant. And it doesn't mean that the model's changed or that the concepts are failing now or that they change the algorithm. It just means that's natural market conditions. It's a variable. You have to make allowance for that, which is what risk management is all about. So when you understand where the market's likely to go next, that's your number one priority. Know how to determine where the market is likely to go to next, the highest degree of probability of it going higher or lower, and what levels specifically. And knowing that if there is enough range between where the market is trading at the time when you determine where the next draw on liquidity is it going up? Okay, where's it going up to? Likely. Now, if there is a 20 handle or 20 point movement between market price and where you think it's going to go up to, that gives you a really good opportunity to get your 5 handles. But why can't I go for 20? You can once you know how to trade. But right now, I'm trying to give you a very easy, low-hanging fruit objective to strive for a consistent opportunity to do each time. And then in the beginning, as we walk through in these live sessions, we're only going to be looking for those 5 handles. And then once we're done with that, I'm going to say, okay, now we just watch price. That part of the exercise, that's the part that everybody learns the most from. But it won't feel like you're learning anything. It's going to feel like, but I missed that move. You don't know in the beginning